Hello and welcome to another Sowiso video. My name is Andrea and today I will be showing you how to make changes to a Sowiso-made course. Now, first of all, we need to make a difference between making changes as a teacher and as an author. As a teacher, you can make simple changes like renaming a chapter or reorganizing chapters or adding and removing or even combining chapters from different Sowiso courses. Now, if you want to make some finer changes to the exercises or theory pages, you would need to have author access. And this is what we're going to be focusing on in this video. For example, this is an exercise from a Sowiso course. In a park, a gardener plants hyacinths and daffodils with a ratio of 5:7. A gardener plants 700 hyacinths. How many daffodils does he plant? This is an exercise on ratios, and maybe you would like to change it, and instead of using an example with the gardener, you want to use an example with a caterer who wants to prepare vegetarian and regular options for an event. Now you can see that the numbers are staying the same. We're going to use the same variables, but we're going to only change the text. This is our approach. We're going to make a copy of the exercise. We're going to make changes to our own copy. And then we're going to switch out the old exercise and add the new one instead. Now keep in mind, you're not going to be able to get any more updates from that specific chapter where the exercise belongs to. So you can make any other changes you wish to this chapter. It's going to be your own chapter. But if our own authoring team makes some updates, you're not going to be able to see those in your own copy. Now here's a step-by-step explanation of this process. First, we're going to make sure that you have the right author access to the right author groups. Then we're going to copy the chapter where the exercise is located. Then we're going to copy the exercise. We're going to make changes to that exercise. Then we're going to add the exercise to your chapter and replace the old chapter with the new one. Now, we need to make sure that you have the right access. There are 4 levels of access to an author group, starting with read copy, that is the lowest access. Then we have translate, write but not publish, and the full writing access. And with the full writing access, you can do anything you want in the author group. In this case, if you want to have access to a Sowiso course, so you can make a copy of your own exercise or your own chapter, you're going to need read and copy access to the Sowiso Basic Math author group in this case, and this is because the exercise that I showed you on ratios, it belongs to the Basic Math author group. Next to that, you're going to need writing access to your own author group, and this is because you're going to make changes to your own exercise, and you need to also have your own chapter, and because of that, you need to have your own space where you're going to be working. Now you saw in the step-by-step explanation, we have one step where we're copying a whole chapter, and then in the next step, we're copying an exercise. And this is because of the content structure of Sowiso. You can see that we start with the course, and then in the course, we have multiple chapters. In one chapter, we're going to have multiple sub-chapters. And in a sub-chapter on the same level, you're going to have a theory page and an exercise package. And the exercise package contains multiple exercises. So what happens when you copy a chapter? You're going to get your own chapter with a new chapter ID, a new sub-chapter ID, a new package ID, new theory page. Everything is new except for the exercise. So the exercises will stay the same as the original exercises in the Sowiso Basic Math group. What does this mean for you? It means that you can't make any changes to these exercises. So if we look back at the step-by-step explanation, we can see that we will first copy a chapter in step 2, and then we're going to copy the specific exercise that we want to make changes to in step 3. The exercise about ratios that I showed you as an example is in this chapter, Numbers. Now, if we try to find a chapter called Numbers, we will get multiple hits. That's why we need to find the unique ID of this exact chapter. To do that, I'm going to go to the Teacher tab and then to Course Material. On the left side, I see all of my chapters from the home page, and I will hover over the chapter Numbers. And here I can see its unique ID, 2135. Now I can go to the author environment and look for this chapter. So I went in here under the tab chapter, and then I typed in the ID. And here's the chapter numbers. It belongs to the group Sowiso Basic Math, and I can only copy it and preview it because I have only the read copy access. If you found the chapter that you wish to copy, you can click on the copy icon. In the next window, you will see the full materials of the chapter, and you can easily select them all by clicking next to the chapter name. Make sure that you're in the correct author group where you wish to copy your chapter to, and then you can click on the copy symbol in the upper right. Once the page has loaded, you will see that you now have a new copy of the chapter. It's going to have the same name, but the ID will be different. You will see that if you scroll down and then check the ID next to the chapter name. Now that we have our own copy of the chapter numbers, we're ready to make a copy of the exact exercise we want to change. So I will scroll down. I'm going to find the exact subchapter and package I need. My exercise was in this subchapter on ratios, and it was in this package in ratios as well. So I will open it up on this plus symbol. And this is the exercise that I need, number 3. Now, if I right-click on the exercise, I will get an option to edit it. But actually, because of how our context structure is made, we will only be able to see the exercise. So I'll go there now. If I open the exercise, I can see all of the fields, but I can't do anything to them. If I try to make any changes, that's not possible. The only thing that I can do is copy the exercise, and that's here in the upper right corner. So I will choose that option. Then I can choose which author group the exercise is going to belong to. For convenience, it's best to keep everything in the same author group. Then just click on New Set. And now we have our own copy of this exercise. And this time we can make changes to it. So you can change the text field or the solution text or the input, post-input hints, anything you want. Just make sure if you make any changes to click on the Save button. Also, because our platform is available in multiple languages, if you know that your students are using Sowiso in multiple languages, make sure to make changes in all of those languages. So you can switch between languages here. Additionally, make sure to check all of these fields, specifically negative feedback and positive feedback, because there might be some words there as well that need to be changed. Now I made all of my changes to this exercise, and I made sure to click Save every time I did so. So you can see that I now have this version of the exercise that's talking about a caterer with vegetarian and regular meals. Now to make sure everything looks well, you can preview the exercise, and that's here in the upper right corner under View Exercise. And here is my exercise. I see that everything is looking well. You can also check the hints and the solution to make sure all of the words have been changed. Now that we have our new exercise ready, we need to use this ID because we need to switch out the exercises. I will copy this over. And then I will open up my own version of the chapter numbers. So just to make sure, I can always check the ID here to make sure I'm in the correct chapter. Then I will scroll down here because I need to make changes to this package on ratios. I'm going to right-click on the package and choose Edit. Here I can see what exactly is in the package. On the left side, I see all of the exercises currently in the package. And on the right side, I see all of the exercises that I can add to that package. I need to replace this exercise number 3 with my own version of it. I can look for my own exercise here by pasting the ID, and I can see it's this one. It was also at the top of the list, and that's because I just recently made it. I will add it by clicking the plus symbol. The exercise is always added at the end, but I can drag and drop it to bring it to the correct place. And now that my new exercise is here, I can remove the old one. Just click on the X symbol. Now we make sure that our new exercise is in the chapter numbers, but the students still don't see any change. So for the last step, we're going to go to the teacher environment. Then I'm going to the course material tab. Here, I need to replace this chapter on numbers with my own version of this chapter. I will quickly check to see the ID of the chapter that I made. In this case, that's 5127. And then I will go back here to the course material and look for it. Currently, it's only possible to search by the chapter name in the search bar, so I'm going to put in numbers. And I see quite a few hits. Now, if I hover over these chapters, I can check their IDs and find the exact chapter that I need. Usually, it's going to be the last one in the list if you just made it. I will right-click on it and choose Add. Now I can remove the old version of the chapter. I will right-click on it and choose Remove. And I will drag and drop my new chapter here. As the last step, I'm going to check that everything is showing well on the home page. So I'll open up this chapter on numbers, which is my own version of the chapter. And then I will open up the exact package. I made changes to the third exercise. And here I can see that the exercise is now about a caterer preparing vegetarian and regular meals. And that is the end of the whole process. Now you can use a very similar process with some adjustments to make changes to a theory page, to add your own exercises, to add a package, or create a new package and add it to the correct position. You can find more information on our knowledge base.